So I'm wearing a stereophonic shirt because my brother went to London this week without me.
Oh, that's exciting.
It is exciting for him, not for me.
You should surprise him and fly out.
FOMO! No. One of my friends said the same thing. But London is one of the most expensive places in the entire world to buy a house.
Then you should fly in and visit him, but not rent or not buy.
But not don't rent either there. You don't rent or buy there. Of course, I wore my my stereophonic shirt to commemorate that because
I didn't know it was so expensive. Did they have a Holiday Inn?
The UK. I probably.
Yeah, you should try that.
I've been there before. It's just so expensive to buy a house.
Huh.
It might be the most expensive place in the entire world. It might be more expensive than New York.
Oh, gracious.
I'm not 100% sure, but
you know where it's not?
What?
Western Pennsylvania.
That's right. Woo!
Affordability
right here in Western Pennsylvania. Hi there, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Rachel, and I'm a realtor here in Pittsburgh, specializing in the city of Pittsburgh and the South Hills of Pittsburgh. And today, we have with us the man, the myth, the legend. Who else? My partner in crime, Robert Wilson of Wilson Home Mortgage.
That's right.
I said that in such a weird way. Like, Robert Wilson! So today, we're going to be talking about these couple of articles that have come up recently. I'm sure you've heard about it in the news. They say Pittsburgh, St. Louis, and Detroit are the last affordable housing markets. Obviously, we're going to be focusing on Pittsburgh today, but I just wanted to dive into this topic because I feel like there's a lot of people these days with the interest rates, post-COVID world, with the economy, that are like, maybe I should just stick to renting.
I've been hearing that a lot.
So we are here to put our spin on it, put our thoughts out there about it, whether it's really worth it to buy a home in this market, in this economy, in today's world. So I am going to let Robert take over from here to start us out.
Well, Rachel, thanks for having me again, as always. I appreciate it. And this is a topic that I really like a lot.
Yeah. Okay, let me preface this also. Robert is a landlord and does a lot of stuff in addition to lending.
I do both, yeah.
Yeah, he does all the things. So he's got a really great sort of...
You've got a good view on this.
A good view on this, yeah, that's right. So that's why I'm going to have you start us out here.
So it's actually a good market to buy as an investor because you can get people to rent and give you good payments.
That is true.
But without the investor side, a lot of it's like, a lot of first-time buyers, should I buy, should I rent, what do I do? That's the real toss-up that a lot of people find themselves in. And if you look historically, for a lot of individuals, their biggest asset long-term for retirement is owning a home.
Yeah.
So it's long-term. We're not looking at 5 years. We're not looking at 10 years. We're looking at your age of retirement. If you buy a house now, realistically, you will have that paid off, and it's, going to increase in value. So it is a nice nest egg from that side.
Yes.
But in lieu of that, let's just look at punch for punch cost currently.
Right. And then let's start with a home that is actually going to be affordable for people. So the people that are really concerned about this are typically first-time home buyers. And the average price of a home in Pittsburgh, just in general, and I looked at the stats, $250,000. That is the average price for a home in Pittsburgh. And they even go as far as to say it's a starter home in a lot of these articles.
Okay.
We are looking more at maybe a price of around $200,000, $190,000,
Sure.
a little bit over that maybe. When you're buying a house for $250,000, you are getting, in certain neighborhoods, you're going to be getting homes that are, for the most part, done up, fixed up.
Yep, ready to go.
But not necessarily all the components of the home, and it's not by any means going to be a luxury home.
Sure.
But when you're buying a little bit under $200,000, what are the types of, what are these homes looking like from not only a financial perspective for the buyer, but what are they looking like inside? Like, how much work is going to need to be done? And is that, that cost of that work, is that going to justify buying that house? Because I think a lot of people are like, well, I don't want to spend money to do this, and I don't want to spend money to do that, and and I might as well rent if I'm going to be throwing away all this money to, fix a house. Why don't I just throw away all this money to rent? Because it'll be cheaper for me to rent,
So I see a lot of that with people asking the questions, just like you're asking on, what kind of house am I going to get? There are tons of livable homes in Pittsburgh for less than $150,000. I mean, livable is in, you're comfortable, you're happy, you're not it's not the Taj Mahal, but a nice regular Pittsburgh house. Like you look, Brookline's a great spot that I like to look at.
Yeah,
like
always.
Banksville. Like we have, like $200,000, you can still end up buying a home there. You're going to get a 1940s, 1950s house. Most likely, people have lived in those homes. They're not typically highly just turned over rentals. It's going to be someone lived there
but they're
for
gonna need work.
a lifetime. But yeah, it still might have grandma's bathroom, right?
Yeah.
And
kitchen.
But some of the stuff's actually so old it's back to being cool. Like I've seen some with like the blue bathrooms, it's like blue toilets, it's like the porcelain blue. Like it's trendy again,
it's
right?
so retro.
So you get very livable homes. The price point's very affordable. And again, like you said, $250 for average for Western Pennsylvania for the Pittsburgh market. Yeah. That includes some high-end houses too that skew it. But for most of your first-time home buyers, what I see is somewhere in that 125 to probably 225. It's more of a realistic number that most of my first-time home buyers do. Occasionally, do I have an outlier if somebody that buys a $400,000 house? Of course.
Yeah.
Do I have somebody that just bought a $90,000 house? Of course. And honestly, the $90,000 house, it's a great condition home. You could move in and have a wonderful life. Like the numbers work.
But people are, I think, worried about areas like where these homes are as well. And, obviously, like fair housing, we don't dive too deep into any of that stuff. Sure. But that is a concern for some people. It's like, why am I going to, pay $150 to live in a neighborhood I don't want to live in? Sure. You know what I mean? So that's another thing to consider. Yeah,
everybody has to decide where they want to be. That's not a piece that I can comment on.
Right, of course. I'm just throwing, thoughts out there. It's like, well, what are buyers like really thinking? And I work with a lot of first-time home buyers and, they'll go online and they'll do these mortgage calculator things and, they'll like say, well, I only have $10,000 if that. What do I do with that? Like, and they look at the mortgage rate and they put in that money and they're like, oh my God, I can only afford to put down like 3% and then the closing costs are however many $1,000s.
I'm glad you mentioned that.
Yeah, people are they're really, really, they look at those numbers and they say, well, screw it, I'm just going to rent.
So, I mean, right now we're running a program. It's a 1% down program. It's really 3% down. Yeah. Where, as the lender, we give you 2% for free. Mm-hmm. And 80% of the people are going to qualify because we use median income. So if you're in the top 20%, you got to have your whole down payment. Yeah. But if you're, in the other 80%, which is most people, obviously, quick math, you qualify and we'll give you that for free. So, for instance, I have a guy currently buying a house for ballpark like $180-some thousand. Okay. And what I think most people would is a nice part of Pittsburgh, a nice part of Western PA. Like most people want to live in these neighborhoods. $180,000. Is the house brand new? Absolutely not. Is the house really nice and would most people be super pumped to live in it? Absolutely yes.
Yeah, for a first time scenario, yes.
Yeah. So like they're excited about it. He's doing the 1%, so it's 3% down. We're giving him 2%, right, from the lending side, and he got seller's assist on it as well. Cash to close is like $5,500 ballpark. Yeah. So, like $5,500.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty amazing. Right?
I mean, most people with savings and all that, they can pull that out. Yep. They can pull that out, and especially if it's between two buyers,
And we ran his rental scenario. Like if you were to rent that exact house, what that house would cost as a tenant to rent, it was about $1,700 a month. Yeah. His mortgage payment is only going to be $1,600 a month. Yeah. So you think if you're the landlord and you're going to rent it out to somebody, you're going to get them first month and last month minimally, maybe first, last plus security deposit. So it's $1,700 a month. All of a sudden you're quickly, over half what you need cash to close to buy the house. Yeah. Right? And then you save $100 a month with your payment. And the other really awesome part about buying now with high rates, if there is one, there's the silver line. If the numbers work at terrible rates, they're really going to work when you can refinance it down to wonderful rates. Oh, yeah. Because the rates aren't going to be here forever. If you listen to the Fed, you watch anything, it's in the news, they will fall. Yeah. To be determined when. Yeah. We've been saying for 2 years, like, any minute now, they're going to drop them. But that's turned out to be a bit of a farce. Yeah. But they should fall, and when they do, it will work. So it doesn't matter. If you're at a high rate now and it's working, you'll be able to refinance it later. And values of homes should go up because as rates fall, people can afford more home. Yeah. So it's a win-win to buy now. Like, there's no chance you're going to have me, give you $3,000-$4,000 for my down payment to rent from you. No. When I could own the same house for $5,500. Yeah. Like, I'm buying a house 100 out of 100 times.
And I feel like if you don't buy the house, somebody a lot wealthier than you probably is going to swoop in and take it.
Correct.
And they're going to maybe rent it out or they're going to fix it up. But I think in Pittsburgh, we really want to keep a culture where, people that are like, that can still afford to be homeowners in some capacity are like, they're taking those opportunities. and not, just like letting them fly away to investors and out of state, and of course, like I do a lot of relocation, but honestly, a lot of people that come to me, they stay, but they're making the same amount of money that like, the reason they're coming to Pittsburgh is like where they live, they can't buy a house.
Sure.
And that is an attractive thing about Pittsburgh,
Yes.
So I think they're, and I don't like dangling that carrot in front of people where I'm like, if you don't buy the house, then some rich person's gonna do it. But like,
it's true.
It is true.
And
so that is something else to think about.
Another thing that I see a lot too for Western Pennsylvania, and a reason our housing market's relatively stable is we don't get the big swings a lot of the other markets get. Mm-hmm. A lot of places were like, oh, my house value went from $200,000 to $450,000 for post-COVID. We didn't have that.
No.
Our values went up,
but not like
within
that.
reason.
They
didn't go to the moon. Mm-mm. So we don't get the big swings up, but we don't get the big drops either. So we're one of the only housing markets, if you just look at, we never have that cliff down. Mm-hmm. So like Pittsburgh's somewhat impervious to that. We don't have the giant jumps up, but that keeps a lot of your bigger time investors out too, because they're trying to find the hot market of Nashville where they could buy a house for $350 that might be $450 in a year, right?
Yeah.
And are we going to have typically $100,000 jumps for just owning it? No. Like, can you take a house here and make it worth $100,000 more? Of course, but it's going to become with a little bit of blood, sweat, and tears for work.
Yeah.
Like it's going to be some real work.
Yeah.
So we have a cool market for that. Home ownership of all the places for first-time buyers should absolutely be considered. If you can afford, your first in security, you should absolutely be looking at the 1% down program.
Yeah.
You should be considering it. And even for people slightly out of Pittsburgh, down in like the Washington County, which isn't far from Brookline the other way, right? There's the USDA program at the 0% down. Mm-hmm. Like there are a lot of,
you can do that too.
A lot of very affordable options.
Mm-hmm.
And then I run a scenario for a USDA person earlier today too, at like $225,000 in Washington County.
Yeah.
And I found very similar things, other than the numbers worked even better.
Yeah.
Actually, they're because of the lower taxes and things. It was far less expensive per month to own the home than to rent. Yeah. So.
And I do cover Washington County as well. I say I'm a city expert, and I am, but I do cover like all of the South Pittsburgh area. So just wanted to make that. That fine point there.
From where you are 20 minutes later, you can be a USDA approved.
Yeah, that's right.
So, you drove just as far to get to here today.
Yeah.
So, I appreciate you having me on here. But in Pittsburgh, it'd be hard pressed to advise anyone not to purchase. Yeah. Like, the answer is yes, absolutely, you buy now. Even if you're like, what if I don't want to stay in Pittsburgh? People ask me this too. Like, I don't have that much money. Well, again, we already showed you. You could rent it out. So, let's say it doesn't pan out, and you decide now Detroit's your place. Not my place, but it could be your place, whatever. Yeah. And you move, you still have a rentable property. Right. So I think we're a wonderful spot for your first time home buyer.
Yeah, really I definitely agree with that. And, maybe call me biased, but I think I think that is true, especially because I don't think that Pittsburgh is always going to be like super duper affordable. It is now. I mean, people can whine all they want on the internet about, it's Pittsburgh, it's not affordable. Like, literally look at the rest of the world. Literally. The rest, not even just the rest of the country, the rest of the world. Yep. Pittsburgh is affordable. It is.
We're trending to not eventually.
Eventually.
On a long curve.
Eventually. But people look at that too, and they're like, why would I want to live somewhere that it's so affordable that means nobody wants to live there? We are advancing. Yes. I saw an article today. It was, I forget where it was. I think it was on Facebook. It was like some big AI company just made their headquarters here.
That and the robotics
it's
stuff that's
coming
happening
here. Yeah.
There's all kinds of industry coming here.
Healthcare has always been here, like big time.
And we have great food. Pittsburgh has a lot of awesome
and so that's another point. Is like, oh, well, what does Pittsburgh really have? And we have all kinds of stuff.
We do. We have so many hidden gems.
And then like Picklesburg is a huge thing now, and like just all these things are happening here. And honestly, I went to Los Angeles a couple years ago, and I was like eating around, and like honestly, I felt that I could find any of that food here if I knew where to look, which I do.
Yep. We have great food here.
So,
but we also have the Grand Prix here. Like, Pittsburgh has all kinds of really cool stuff.
We have the U.S. Open.
So, go sports.
Go sports. We do have that here. That is undeniable.
Overall, great spot to buy. I mean, I like to buy as a first-time buyer. I like to buy as for myself to live in. Obviously, I have a home. But I also, even as an investor, I think it's a great opportunity. And I've capitalized on that. And, truth be told, some first-time home buyers should buy some of those houses that I was trying to capture. Yeah. Right? So if you're out there, this is the time to buy. Like they're great homes. We have so many cool homes. We have a lot of character in PA. The amount of houses we have made of yellow bricks, I've never seen anywhere else like that.
I grew up in a yellow brick house in Castle Shannon.
I don't know who sold those. I think you got a trainload of those here. I was like, yellow bricks, and we all bought them. I don't know. I've never gone to another town and been like yellow brick homes.
Yeah, it's all that, you know. I grew up in a Dutch colonial, so I don't know. Maybe it was all just the Dutch colonials, and you know. But you're absolutely right. Like it's Pittsburgh is a special place. I mean, there's a lot of. I was doing my Brookline video the other day, and I was like, there's so much character even between little sub neighborhoods in Brookline. You know, it's just
there are. They're not the same. It's not the same neighborhood.
It's just. I don't know. It's just such. I don't even want to say melting pot because that sounds so
it's overused.
Overused. It's really I wouldn't say it's a melting pot, but it's like and I've said this before. There's not a lot of a great amount of wealth disparity.
Yeah.
But there's also like, I don't know, just different vibes between neighborhoods.
No, there are.
Which I think is very cool.
Like Crafton and Carnegie are giving you different vibes.
Yeah. And you can buy affordable houses in both places.
Absolutely. That's the coolest
And in Brookline,
part.
you know, and there's so many places that you can do that. And of course there's places that are going to be excluded, like, you know, the central north side, Lawrenceville, like those, you know, there's going to be exclusions to that, but.
Yeah, there's some places that got too hot and now it's just, that affordability
it's just
is
too
gone.
much. Yeah, it's gone pretty much.
But had you purchased a few years back, you could have got into Lawrenceville.
Yeah.
Whenever it was just a regular old house.
And there are still places available like that.
Yeah, there's tons of pockets. Who knows what part of the city is going to pop next? You know, it's speculative.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ways this could go. But we have so many cool neighborhoods. It's not like we only have one spot with affordability here.
Yeah.
We have literally dozens of neighborhoods.
Dozens.
That have awesome houses, awesome character, awesome food. And then you figure out which one fits you the best.
Yeah.
But while the program's running, 100%, you buy that for 3% down, 2% for free.
Yeah.
Take the free money.
Is the program going to last forever?
It is not.
Okay.
We had the program before, and then we lost it. But guess what? It
came back.
Like a phoenix. We got it back. Limited time offer. Capitalize on the offer, right? Because it's real. They're doing it. I don't know why they're doing it, but they're doing it.
Yeah.
Like this is one of the times you're like, I don't think you should do it, but I'll take your free money. Like, take it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But yeah, I think it's a great spot to. I'd be really hard pressed. Ultimately, my scenario is I'd be really, really hard pressed to pay to rent.
Yeah.
Whenever I could be a homeowner, do whatever I want.
Yeah, and obviously bearing in mind that there will be things in the home that you've got to take care of, like, you know, to add a personal story, like my AC recently broke, my furnace needed replaced, so I needed to get a new screen door, which was like weirdly expensive for like a high quality screen door.
Get more than you think. Yeah.
And honestly, like having a broken screen door is a nightmare. Like I don't know why, it just like is truly like this horrible night. And I hate having bugs in my house, so that's part of my reasoning. I'm going on a tangent, but all I'm saying is there are expenses to owning a home. So it's also important to take the other viewpoint and say, well, you know, I don't want to be house poor. That's also not a good thing. But harder to do in Pittsburgh to be house poor. Harder to do.
It is, and a lot of the expenses that people are worried about are not all the time expenditures. Right?
Yeah, I mean, they hit you.
Like,
they hit you, but not all the time.
Right,
yeah.
like I need $1,100 for a water tank.
Yeah.
Like once a decade, typically decade and a half,
Yeah.
right? So like you could be there a long time and never pay for a hot water tank.
Yeah.
You know, the first house that my wife and I lived at, never bought a hot water tank. We never bought a roof. We never, like, it was just...
Yeah, you never
replaced...
And that's what happened with... Well, that's not what happened with my house, but my house in Brookline, this is my first home that I live in. I've had to replace a lot of stuff, but I got it for hella cheap.
And those deals are still there.
They're still there. So, not quite as they were in 2019, but they're still there. But you know what? There is a payoff to that. I did have to fix a lot of stuff. But to me, ultimately, like... I tell people every day, I wake up and I thank God that I bought my house. I really do. I have no regrets, and I can't imagine having shilled out all that money over 6 years that I've owned the home to renting. It makes me sick thinking about it. Honestly, it does.
100%.
So
yeah,
I have no regrets. You know, even though all the money I spent on everything, you know, no regrets at all. But overall, we think it's worth it to buy a house in Pittsburgh versus renting. In most cases, yes. Now, when you're young, you're like your early 20s, you know.
Different story.
But you know, you're hitting the mid 20s, hitting 30s. Yeah.
If it's within reason, you do it.
Yeah.
Even if you're young and maybe you can have somebody gift you a little bit of the down payment. Because again,
Yeah.
if you're going to have somebody gift you the $3,000 for the rent,
Yeah.
Maybe ask them for 5. Buy yourself a house. It's a better long-term play.
And don't feel bad about it. A lot of people do it.
Everybody wins that way. And I don't know about you guys, but I intend to buy more houses in the Pittsburgh market. So
100% same.
if you don't do it,
we're going to do it. All right. Well, thank you so much, Robert, as always, for coming onto my channel. And thank you all for tuning in. If you have any questions about the topic we talked about today, just give me a call at 412-926-0806 or email me at the email below. And Robert's information will also be in the description. Again, thank you so much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.